what the problem is mildew wise. I've got water droplets back in the corner of the wardrobe area. I know this is a recorded call, so this is why I'm informing you about it. I've had my heating on all night, so that shouldn't have been a problem. But I'm still getting water droplets in my wardrobe area in my bedroom and also across my bathroom ceiling, which is also heated. So it shouldn't have any water droplets on the ceiling because it's heated adequately all night. So I'm doing what was advised. I'm keeping the balance what was advised to me of the heating in the building, and it's still creating water droplets, which is causing the mildew problem. So the walls are sweating. Any heat that's in the building is not being able to escape the building, so the building is sweating, which is what I've said all along. Okay, that's my private observation. Now the next thing. As per discussed with the neighbourhood manager that came out, I'm still getting problems with whoever is involved in it to do with the local neighbourhood clique. Don't know who it is right now, but I will catch them doing it. Just simple little mind games. My dog alerted me to something she noticed silently coming from the back garden. This was about 12 o'clock, 12:30 last night, after I double checked turning off my security light. And I go out there with a torch and return it back on if I need to. I let her out for a pee and the security light came straight on, and I thought, right, so that means someone's either been playing mind games with me again, or they're creeping in just to listen at the window to anything they can overhear. Not having it at all. This is the first time I've had to make any formal complaint to you in a long time. I don't believe it's anything to do with my next door neighbour who I had a problem with, because we've now made peace and we're living in peace together. So I don't think, and I'm almost certain it's nothing to do with him or his family. It's to do with the back gate keep getting left open directly at the back of my property, and that's how they're getting into my back garden. So they're just literally walking through her gate, hopping over my back fence and messing about. Yeah, it's deliberately to cause a state of anxiety because they know I'm suffering from depression and everything else. You know how gossip goes round the neighbourhood. You know, I'm just not having it no more though. I've been right all along about this. The neighbourhood manager actually saw one of that clique swearing at me when I bade him good morning. You know, so they're the ones that are still continuing all this nonsense, I think. I don't think it's anyone else involved, it's just that same group of idiots that are doing it for whatever reason, to unsettle me, to either get a reaction that they can manipulate and get the police involved again. So I'm just not putting up with it no more. Okay? I fully explained my whole situation to the neighbourhood manager, so the landlord shouldn't have a problem with anything I'm doing at this property. There's no illegality or anything else going on from this property. Everything's clean, legal and above board, as they know, so there shouldn't be any issues with any agencies that I interact with. I am aware that the police are being manipulated to set me up for various reasons or whatever, and I believe that it's all down to that same clique in this village. You know, I even said to the police when they set me up over the dogs at the last attempt, that yeah, I even said when it happened, what a fucking setup. You know? So for that reason alone, I told the neighbourhood manager, well, the police can go fuck themselves. I'm not abiding by their dog law or whatever they're going on about. I don't let my particular dog out anymore. She's a stay-at-home guard dog. So she doesn't need to wear a muzzle. That's her job. But she alerted me silently to someone was creeping about, and I let her out for a pee to check. She went straight to the boundary fence, started sniffing about, so I know that's how they're doing it. Okay, I'm just watching my dog's behaviour, and they're not able to get round the low tech side of it, which is why they're trying to set up the dogs to get round that, if you see what I mean. Okay, I've had to put cameras up originally, as the landlords were aware, but they worked out how to manipulate their way around the cameras. Unless I have my cameras on 24 hours a day, which creates a Wi-Fi blanket in my bedroom, which I'm not prepared to tolerate. So I don't have them on all the time. They're not there for spying on the neighbours. They're not there to record the neighbours or anything else. It's just so I can keep an eye on what's going on. And it's mainly I keep an eye on the front, so they're taking the mickey at the back. You know, I shouldn't have to live like that. I'm not going to be putting cameras up on all angles of the building and waste my resources doing that. I've got low-tech solution of doing it, which is why I've got dogs. The dogs tell me, and I watch their behaviour. So I know I'm right on it. Okay, so it's just so you're aware of what's going on. I will not be reacting in any way, shape or form unless I catch them red-handed doing it. If I do, then they're in my property, within my boundary lines, and I'm free to defend my property and my livestock by law. Okay, so then whoever I catch will get a good hiding. Okay, and I will be legally covered for defending myself and then calling the police, because the police won't have time as I try to subdue the person to get here. So I will simply put them on the ground, keep them on the ground until the police get here. Okay, however I do that, but I am allowed by law to take that course of action. So I'm clearly stating how frustrated I am about it. I'm not going to be overreacting, because I know that's exactly what they want me to do, so they can get the police involved and say I'm having mental issues, I'm this, I'm that, he's reacted like that before. No, they are playing me to try and get at me or to get rid of me. Simple as that. The same as what I've said all along, and it's the same clique doing it. Okay, I clearly explained all this to the neighbourhood manager when he came out, and his replacement, so they're fully aware of what's going on here. Like I've stated clearly, it's nothing to do with Mr. Murphy next door, because we've made peace now. This is the rest of them that aren't happy that we've made peace. I believe that he was actually manipulated by them as well to goad us into fighting. So, you know, he was another new neighbour that had his grief taken advantage of, I think, and they played us both against each other. You know, that's what I think's happened. So I'm happily living in peace with my neighbour, but I'm not tolerating this bullshit any longer from the rest of them. Okay, that sounds fair enough to me. How does that sound to you? You know, I'm so frustrated about this now, but I'm not going to be overreacting and playing into their hands. But if I do catch them, they will get a good hiding. I'm allowed to do that. But only on my own property after they've come at me like that, which I'm legally allowed to do. Yes, so it's only those two issues, but I'm making it perfectly clear to you that I'm not tolerating this any longer, because they're playing on my mental health, trying to get a reaction. I'm simply not falling for it. No, it's just so they're aware. I'm just going to invest in one of those, whatchamacallit, I've got a squeegee what I use anyway and wipe the windows down. I'm going to invest in one of those water vacuum suction things, and just a squeegee that sucks the water up. I'm going to invest in one of those as soon as it's physically possible for me to pay for one. And I can do the same on the ceiling as well, just to suck any moisture off the ceiling. And then hopefully it'll just dry out with the central heating. But the water droplets are still there whether I've got the heating on or not. And I'm keeping it on 24 hours a day at the moment. It's still causing water droplets. Okay, so it's just so you're all aware of what's going on that and the neighbourhood click thing. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. I've been up to the post office today and paid £70 onto my account, which pays for the spare bedroom tax, and there's a little bit on top to keep the debt going down. But I did receive a letter the other day. I don't want to enter into any new agreements because they twist my words, and contact the benefit agency, which that's not happening no more. The benefit agency are aware to that fraud side of it, and they're not playing along with it either. Okay, so the bill should be going down, and I keep noticing every time I get one of those letters that the bill's creeping up, and it's always just before I get paid and pay off the spare bedroom tax. So, okay, so I've paid me £70 today. That's £62 spare bedroom tax, and I think it's about £8 something off of the bill. So it should constantly be going down, but it's not. So it's something wrong with your system there. You know, it was all square, and it was so much in credit, which is why I didn't pay the spare bedroom tax for that month, which still would have left it in credit. But for some reason it keeps creeping up a debt. For some reason. Don't know why, but everything's being paid as normal. Alright? Yeah, it's usually because the council pay on certain days, and then it's usually after you send the letter out. So usually when I phone up, I get told that the council have paid their bit, and not the council, the benefit people pay their side of it. I just have to pay the spare bedroom tax, pay a little bit more on top, which keeps my account in credit, which is how it should be. I shouldn't be getting those silly letters, so I just won't speak to them now because they twist my words. I don't know if they edit and change things to contact the Universal Credit people, but I've advised the Universal Credit, don't play into it this time because it will be benefit fraud. There is no debt. It's their system. Okay, so they're not playing ball with it either. Alright? No problem at all. This is just a courtesy call just to update you on the information on the damp side of things, and I'm following the instructions that I've been given, but it's still going on with the water droplets, and you've been updated on what's happening with the silly nonsense that's still going on. Okay? Alright? No problem at all. Thank you so much for listening. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. As you know, that's why I record all my phone calls and interactions with the landlords now. But it's still going on. So there you go. I can't afford to... I've been without antidepressants now for about 3 or so days, 4 days. You can hear the tone in my voice. On a, so I've got to get to the chemist tomorrow and get that sorted out. I don't feel like I want to do it today. I've paid all my bills up. I'll probably treat myself to a takeaway tonight and just sit back and relax, you know. So it's a constant battle with associated other nonsense that's going on, trying to play on that. So I'm not the only one it happens to. There's people in London, people all over the country that are having this happening to them. So that's why I make these videos, okay? Have a lovely day anyway, folks.